Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and welcome back to another episode of the Heart to Heart podcast. As always, I'm your host, Gregory Hart, and on today's episode 50. 50. Think about when you're thinking about your age. If you're 50 years old, you're like, damn, that's a lot of time. That's 50 episodes. That's over 2 years of podcasting, doing them bi-weekly, okay? Missed a couple during a car accident, but shit happens, okay? Life gets a little wild, things get out of hand, and now I do keep a couple backup episodes just in case I happen to be busy that week, apparently. This episode 50, before we even get into it and talking about who is joining me, I just wanted to thank everyone who's watched so far, who has listened to the podcast or watched it. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. Don't forget to click that subscribe button on YouTube if you watch it there. And don't forget to leave a comment or a review on the platform that you're choosing to watch on or listen on. And if you truly do enjoy the podcast and you think someone else will, please share it. If every person shares it, that's double the views immediately. I really appreciate everyone's time and commitment. Now let's jump into the episode and who we're interviewing today. I get to sit down with two extremely strong, beautiful women who have created their own business, their own podcast, their own book. They're on tour nonstop, just speaking the true life and what you should actually expect when being a mother, okay? Postpartum is real. Dealing with your husband, real. Dealing with your sex life once you get older or once you've had kids, real. And they really jump into it, okay? Today, I get to sit down with two girls that have combined 7 children. I can't take care of myself, and it's only me and my wife. That I sit there some days and say I don't have time. That's bullshit. These women have 7 children combined, a massive, massive platform, and they've built a damn empire over the past 10 years. I believe they started in 2012. First video cranking 1 million views. Don't fuck around or you'll find out with these mothers, okay? I'm excited to jump into this episode. I am joined today by Cat and Nat.
Oh my
We're
God. I
great.
just, I like to listen to how people talk about us because it just,
It doesn't sound like they're talking about these people.
it's just
sitting right
weird.
there.
I'm like, wow, that's so interesting. Okay. That's like, cause it doesn't feel like we really did all that, but we did, but it just doesn't feel that way.
But I feel like if somebody else, like someone said that about someone else, would be like, wow, how did they manage all that? But when you do it, it just doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever have that feeling? I forget what it's called, but where like you don't feel like you're actually there?
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah. What?
No, I don't feel like I do.
I just don't think about it much. But
Yeah.
I do feel like a rut right now in our, because we haven't done a lot of work outside of the house. So I think we get in ruts, what's the word? Content wise, when we aren't in the world, immersed in the world. So I think we feel stagnant I feel stagnant when we're not doing, living, going,
Yeah.
And we're busy, but it's boring busy. It's
Yeah.
let's do the boring stuff. The boring stuff.
You guys manage to get stuff done in any environment you guys are in. Like, look at one podcast, you're in a car, then you're sitting at your coffee table, then you're just in the middle of already doing a million other things. Pause for a second, go do more things, get back to the episode, and you still manage to keep it all together. I don't know how you balance all these things. If you have some sweet secret way of doing it, I'd definitely love to know about it.
Well, balance is something that we're never striving for, which has always been, we've been saying that for so long. Back when we first started having kids, which was like 13, 14 years ago. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was the biggest topic, was how do moms balance it all? And the two of us immediately were like, that's just not a word that I understand or even think about or really try really hard to achieve, because it's like ebbs and flows. Like sometimes one is going really well and another, but it's never just like a perfect balance, but that's life.
Also, I think when and if you are in the space of your own business and you are your business, that world is always changing and evolving, and it's like you have to be a person who can change and evolve with it, because what started our business 10 years ago or 30, however long, is not what it is today. And had we stuck to what that was 10 years ago, we wouldn't be where we are today. So I feel like, you know, you have it's this, right, constantly, because our world is often dictated by trends outside of us, like, you know, not content trends, but platforms and what's important. And you as people have to kind of get through the bullshit to get out who you are once again. So it's kind of this weird
and comparatively, that's the same thing, kind of like it's
motherhood.
We could take those words and put it into motherhood and marriage, and it's all the same thing. It's like everything in life. Like if you want to be okay and things to continuously be successful and keep going, you have to be flexible.
Someone said something really interesting yesterday, and she used a word, and I was like, it's so true. It's like you're constantly under renovation. As mothers, as business owners, as people, and
relationship.
When you're a mother, or a parent, often your journey is so not about you, but you somehow have to get back to who you are. So it's this very weird pendulum of the most important people in your life, but prioritizing yourself amongst the people who you have to put as a priority
without feeling selfish doing that. And that's what a lot of parents, I'm gonna say parents because we're talking to a man. I know you're not a parent, but like parents, like sometimes it feels like a lot of women have said to us, it feels like if I think about myself, or I take too much time to myself, then I'm being selfish. And that's absolutely not the case. You're just as much of a person as each one of your children and requires the same kind of construction, maintenance, and attention.
Okay, this is exactly why I wanted to interview you two. First off, I thought I was listening to a podcast for a couple minutes. You guys are so well spoken. You guys just fucking go off for 5 hours, and I just be sitting here like, I don't know if I'm a part of this or not. But like, literally, I listened to a bunch of your episodes because my wife had recommended it. She's like, they're very like, not in like comparing you to a man, but they're a very woman version of you, of just saying how it is, speaking in real life. Like, instead of just like always feeling down on yourself or feeling like you're not putting enough time in, or there's not certain things that you're allowed to do. Like, I know it's such a different take for a mom. It's such a harder task and definitely so much more pressure and shit put down on you. But even watching and listening to your podcast, like thinking to myself, I'm like, these girls don't want to talk to some fucking 27-year-old man who is just recently married, doesn't have kids yet, or really know much about life.
That's exactly who I want to talk to, by the way. That's exactly who I want to talk to.
Like, it had me sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like listening to like your sex talks on Fridays and about stuff going on in your lives and the way shit changes. I just thought to myself, I'm like, at this point, I was like, I'm getting married in like 4 months. And the last thing I need is for my like sexual my sex life to go to shit once I get married. What is going to happen here? I'm like, I need the ins, the outs. I'm not going to turn into a bag of potatoes. I'm not going to let myself go. I'm not going to like stop putting in date nights. I'm saying it out loud right now so that I have to use this video against myself in 5 years later, Greg. But genuinely, I need the tips and tricks.
Greg, you will. You will.
But turn into a bag of potatoes.
Yeah, you will.
Not necessarily.
And you will give up date night. And you will, because you will. You might. You most likely will.
Some people don't.
But like good percentage, like 80 to 90%. They really, fuck the dog in that area for a while, but not literally.
How long were you guys together before you got married? I just need to know.
We were together for over like 5.5 years, 6 years this February, but we got engaged at 2 years, and then COVID put away our wedding for 3. So
the honeymoon's.
Do you have a lot of family around you?
We live in her hometown right now, so a lot of her family around, and we're actually moving in a month to my hometown.
And they're helpful people?
Yes, very.
Okay. Yeah. So you might have a better chance. But because I think realistically it's okay. It's just, you have to be able to realize what you want because I think what happens is people put expectations on, and then your partner, your wife might not be ready to go on date night when you are. And then you're like, well, what about us? Now we're going to fail. But you almost as a man have to honor her transition into motherhood because you're in transition.
Are you planning on having it?
We honestly have no clue. We took the pressure off of it.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's completely okay. Like I
think you have a different, if you are looking to have children as moms, it's almost like you get frustrated because their helpfulness isn't what you need in that time. And I think even with any transition in life, you're going to go through transitions as a couple, and what you want and what she wants, you just kind of always have to talk about what you both want. So your fixed expectation isn't your disappointment, because she's not trying to disappoint you, but it just might not be what her expectation is. So talk about it.
Sometimes people are married for a really long time, and they never talk about the things that really are super meaningful in a relationship, what they want from their partner. And sometimes they do in the first, few years, but people change. Like things that I probably wanted, some of the things I wanted done for me before I had kids, or maybe even like 10 years ago, are different from what I really appreciate now and would want to receive as love and caring and all of that. So it is, again, like the renovation. It's like, you have to constantly say, like, what if you're interested in keeping her happy, which it sounds like you are, because you're asking us these questions. What do you want? What do you want from me? What can I do to make you happy?
Yeah.
Not only sexually, but in life and all that. And then same thing, vice versa.
Yeah.
Don't assume that things haven't changed.
And your greatest fight will be your missed expectation. So you will have an expectation that you're not even sure you're having, and you'll fight over the expectation rather than the actual thing. Because I think what couples do is they get disappointed by what that person didn't do, but that person didn't know what they wanted them to do. So you're mad is something that's your issue, not theirs. So when you're able to, if you can know your shit and what you're bringing in and keep working on yourself, the expectations of what she needs to do for you will just be, like, you're a whole person, she's a whole person, and together you're always growing. So you're not looking for this person to constantly be filling you up, that, so you're not like, she can't disappoint you because she's her own person.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't go on date night, you're not like, well, you don't love me anymore. It's just like, oh, what's going on? Which is a very, so it's
that's a big one. Is it Gregory or Greg?
Greg's good.
Okay, Greg, that's a big one, is that for us, what we think is that your person can't be your everything. And that can be hard, especially when she's going to be moving to your town where it's your people, your things. She is going to need to have her own thing outside. We think it's really important to have a life outside of your partner. Definitely. And with your partner, because when you rely on 100% of your everything on that one person, that's too much pressure for one person to hold.
And it will breed resentment eventually, because you will grow, and hopefully she grows, and you get excited for growth rather than nervous for growth. And if you know your shit, then you can have conversations rather than fights.
Honestly, I think that we balanced what we did want in our lives really, really early in our relationship, which obviously that shit's going to change, especially over 6 years. People's goals, people's expectations change all the time, especially once you're married. It feels like everyone kept asking, like, how does it feel to be married? And at first it was like, yeah, it feels pretty much like yesterday. But the farther we're getting into it, it seems like we both had stuff we really wanted to do outside of our careers. As much as work's important, it pays the bills. We always had like dream expectations, like wanting to take bigger risks, wanting to do podcasting. She does stuff on Instagram, like pushing after the things we want to do. And we do a lot of things with our friends outside of the regular stuff we do at home. I bought, like, it sounds like I was expecting failure before marriage, but I bought like that adventure guide book for couples where it like has you like you scratch off like the date ideas. It's like go to 3 different restaurants, buy an app at one, entree at one, dessert at the next, like just keep stuff going and flowing. But
good for you.
What made you I don't think he's trying, but like what makes a guy even think about this kind of stuff and not just be like, oh, we're together, she loves me, I love her, like this isn't gonna take work? How do you know that? Are your parents married? Do you have a sister?
My parents were married. My dad passed away like 4 years ago, but I've always had that, like, my parents had their shit growing up. They had their stuff where they're fucking yelling at each other, they're angry, they're disappointed, they're upset. They stuck through, they stayed strong. Like, they always added things to make their relationship one step better every time, instead of just dealing with being miserable and not fucking talking ever. They dance in the middle of the living room, dance in the kitchen, go out for drinks together, go grab chicken wings, go to different friends' houses. Like, I think I got
that's where you got
good. Yeah, I definitely got it from a very good place. But my mindset also went to like, I wasn't the fuck boy who went on one night stands. Never even had one. I never slept with someone if I wasn't dating with them. I took my wife's virginity. God, I can't wait till her mom fucking watches this.
Oh my God. You're married now. She's happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she only knows one thing, and I've given her a pretty good expectation of what to expect. So she's
love that.
she only has one
I'm
choice.
intrigued, Gregory. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
What is that special?
I just tell her like this is pretty much all you're gonna get out there. So this is pretty much as good as it is. Like,
And she's like,
This is as good
for
as it
sure,
gets.
Gregory, for sure. Greg,
She's like,
oh my God, Greg,
I
hilarious.
do have access to the internet, Greg. So, but yeah, like I think that
So good.
it I don't know. We've balanced each other for sure, and we definitely take times for ourselves. But yeah,
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
That's really important.
You've set yourself up for it. And if you could become, I guess the point was if you become a bag of potatoes, it's okay. Like, because, you know, then you rejig and you're like, I don't want to be a bag of potatoes anymore. Now I want to be here. You know what I mean?
And
So
you
it's
gotta
like,
not want to be a bag of potatoes for yourself first, not for someone else.
exactly.
100%, like 100%. I've always had the thing where like you always like you talk to the fucking middle-aged dude, and you're like, so you miserable? Yeah. Like, how's marriage? I'm like, your life sucks. Like, why? Like,
Yeah.
there's always like this negative fucking aspect from the older guys. Like, it's like just happy wife, happy life, do everything for her, don't like, and it's like never really balancing. Like, if you're fucking miserable doing everything for someone, you're just going to be miserable. It's not going to make anything better. One side is going to be shitty. And then I just realized all these guys are like, yeah, like the sex life goes away, and it's like, I saw what you look like when you got married, bro, and you did not like keep your shit at the table. Like, this is brutal. Like, you just
Oh my God.
threw it all away, and you're like, why won't you sleep with me anymore? It's like, you look
I
like
like you're just saying that. I like it. It's really funny.
I do think that it's not so much about what they look like as
For
it
sure.
is about the mental load of life. And I think it's, you know, I think it'll be interesting for your age demo, because I think less and less will begin to get married. Like the 20s
I think so
will
too.
not get married. And I think there'll be more partners in their life if there's not children involved, or even if there is children involved. And you guys will be leaders, and you'll be lessons in lead. You'll be teaching everyone lessons in relationships, because you guys will have more choice. Because when you don't have children, there's no forced, it's not like I have to do it for the children.
Yeah.
I think that you guys who are choosing not to have children will teach people about a lot more about relationships than it's something you have to do, because you guys make the choice constantly. Where when we got married, everyone was getting married to have babies, rather than like choosing is just becoming normalized like now.
That shit hit us hard after marriage. Like, that's we're not no to kids. We're at the point where we're like, we want to get to the point where we both want to have one to do it, because it seemed like everyone, like obviously the older generation, they were raised a certain way. It was a specific thing that happened. You got married, had kids, or you bought a house, got married, had kids. And so like everyone's just been like, so when are you guys having kids? Are you guys going to push to have kids? Both of our moms are like, where are my fucking grandkids? And I'm like,
okay, well, that's fair. Moms are allowed to ask that, just so
For
you know,
sure.
because they want to know when they get a baby in their lives. Because once you've had one, you want another one that's not yours, that you can just smell and hold and literally
and feed
like,
sugar and send home. Yeah, it sounds like a blast.
kiss their cheek. So they're allowed, but everyone else not allowed.
Yeah, and I understand like being like excited for someone and wanting to push like, when are you guys gonna have kids? Like, it just seems like sometimes now it's like maybe a little too personal to ask. Like, who the fuck knows if they can even have kids? It could bring up something stupid or sensitive.
You're
And
so right.
everything's
And
just
you know
worried
what?
about that. But
The position that you and your wife are taking, saying we just haven't decided yet, will sort of just take shit off the table because then people are like, oh, like number one, maybe they're trying and we don't know and they just don't want to talk about it, or whatever their personal reason is, you know? It's good. I like your position to be like, not sure.
Your generation is changing everything that our generation didn't, you know? So you guys, you guys will definitely have a different narrative.
How do you balance that stuff with your husbands now? Like, you guys have what? Nat has 4, Cat has 3.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are on tour, like you're on the screen doing stuff every day. Like, how do you guys balance that stuff?
Again, remember the word balance. We're not trying to balance anything, but how do we juggle it all?
We survive it all.
I would say we survive it all. And I can like, I always say this about myself, and some people are like, that's not true, whatever. I think that it's really about time management and prioritizing your time. And I really think, but so I have 4 kids. Yes, I do work from home and I'm able to like go be in different places. I got 4 kids. I got a husband. I got a job, I travel, a dog, all the things.
Yeah.
And sometimes people will say to me, like, I remember always like, you probably don't have time to work out. That's why you don't work out. And I'm never going to use like, there's not enough time for me. This is a me thing that I think there's always enough time for something that really matters to you. I don't run out of minutes in the day. I could wake up earlier if I wanted to work out. I could probably find time for sex with my husband probably every day. There is a time that it can happen. It's just about choosing how you spend your time. So, you know what I mean? Like, I can never say there's not enough time for my husband. There is, when I choose to make it.
Fair. It's well said. It's truly well said. Like, it's a strong woman thing to say. Like, it's almost tough that some, like, I obviously can't speak for anyone else's relationship, but it's almost tough to like to think of, like, I don't know, like even my mother-in-law, like she cooks all the meals, she cleans the house, she does everything. And it's like that old style of being the wife thing. And I understand that's how you're raised, that's how you're born, but is that everything you want to do? Like, sometimes I just feel like, do more stuff for you, kind of thing. And it seems like maybe that's the change that's happening over the years, and you guys are pushing it. Like, it's clear as day. Like, be happy for yourself. If I'm miserable trying to take care of someone else, then I'm gonna be miserable with them too. Like, it's just gonna turn into a shit show. So I don't know. It seemed like a weird thing that in the past, like what
Yeah,
was
very weird.
expected of women.
Very weird.
Well, but marriage was born on roles and expectations and a partnership to raise money. I mean, to raise money and children. So it was less about what you wanted, because most people don't know who they are at 21 and 22 years old.
Mhm.
And that's what our parents got married for, and then they grow up and then you learn and then so it's like this constant evolution of kind of learning lessons. But I think that we also, social media has changed a lot. And like Chelsea Handler is someone who's like, I don't know if I can kids. I'm never had like that conversation never happened before. And I mean, I have 2 really good friends who both don't have children. So it's like, and they're married. And so I think it's just changing the narratives I think a lot of people think they'll regret the decision. Like, they're like, you're going to regret. There was a lot of this conversation about regretting things. And I think now people can have a choice, and we know moms who probably shouldn't be moms and probably would be better people without being moms. And I won't say who they are, but I don't think they enjoy I don't think they enjoy motherhood. Like, nothing sparks joy of motherhood in them. Like, you're not like, wow, they really love being moms. It looks like a schlep.
Luckily, we probably fell under the pressure that we should be having get married and have kids,
but we wanted
but
that.
We did it, and we wanted them, and we actually are like, so like, love being moms.
Yeah.
Also got really lucky, and when we were too young to make big decisions, chose the right men. Like, I mean, I feel like that's a lucky thing. You know what I mean? Because
definitely.
That's a crapshoot.
Who could have really? I mean, it's like over 50% of people, or 50% of people get divorced. Like, these young people getting married, you really have no idea what's going to happen once you have kids. That's
Spoiler alert. You really don't know anyone you married till you have a kid, and then you're
good.
like, oh shit, because you're raising your kid with their parents, because whatever they say their parents said to them. So you're like, you think you dodged a bullet, and then you start having kids, and you're like, oh my God, I married your parents.
And even without kids, like, when you marry that person, you never think that the 2 of you, let's say, end up like buying real estate together and sharing a budget and all of that. Like, when you married them, you weren't talking about balancing the budget and where we're going to get money and how we're going to spend our money. Like, you often don't go through that before you get married. So those are so I mean, for us, it's just, so far it's kind of worked out.
It seems like that's a big change over the decades too, is like, you look at the average price of a house now. A mom used to be able to have the husband go to work and raise 3 kids. By the time she was 24, she had 3 or 4 kids and could be at home for them and do the thing. And that just happened to be what stayed in trend for so long. But now you buy an average house at $700,000, and it's not the case. The woman is always was, but is more viewed now as as she's her own provider. She does everything for herself. She doesn't fucking need you. Like,
Mhm.
get your shit together and let her fucking do her own thing, and you'll be fine. Like, just have your own lives, and everything should be fine. But everything's so expensive now that I think that's where you see the generations just holding off of whether or not they want kids. Like, people are broke right now, working 2 full-time jobs to pay for a house. How are they going to afford the kid running
I know.
around?
I know.
And you're right. Going into a relationship, the best case scenario is that there is nothing that you need from them. That if they were to be gone tomorrow, you would have everything you need to survive. Maybe you'd be sad or maybe whatever, but you could survive on your own.
Yeah, very true. And it's a very good way of looking at it, like financially or emotionally, and just having enough. Like, it would be terrible to be in a relationship where the other person leaves and you're just fucking lost. You don't have friends because they were all theirs. You rely on
Mhm.
their
A lot of
money.
people, Greg.
Like,
It's a lot of people, Greg.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky I'm not in that spot, and I hope that if anyone listening is in that spot, get out, like, run away, fix
No,
it, or
or
work on it. But
find yourself a life.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
find yourself a life. So that might fill you, and then you're not desperate to hold on to a relationship because it's all you have.
Like, I remember back in the day watching like talk shows, and women would be blindsided when they found out their financial situation because their husband was totally in charge of everything. And then
I'd be
all of
that
a
person.
sudden, no, you'll be fine.
She takes care of all our finances, and my husband takes care of all of ours. So.
But I mean, you've got the, you've got
I mean, nothing's
things.
in my name. 'Cause I'm American.
All right.
So
I'll take care of you.
I'm really screwed if anything goes sideways.
But like women being like finding out like, oh my gosh, you are hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in debt and you had no idea. Like, you can't be in that position either way. No one person can't be in charge of all of that. And for someone like Cat, first of all, that would never happen.
Yeah.
But if it did happen, you fucking figure it out tomorrow.
Yeah, I would.
shit, you guys are dropping like knowledge here. People need to listen.
Knowledge. That used to mean a blowjob, by the way.
Did you know like knowledge is giving a blowjob?
No, definitely not.
I know
aware.
that must be our generation thing.
I think our generation
Giving
went
knowledge.
what a fucking wild way to bring that up. Oh, that's hilarious.
Sorry. I just thought I would. But my daughter's texting
not
me as we're
you.
speaking.
Just like in actual use of asking someone for knowledge. That's hilarious.
Yeah, now you'll think of it every time you talk about knowledge.
I might say it tonight just to see what she says.
And then tell her to Google it in the Urban Dictionary.
No, I used to ask her, like,
learn some knowledge tonight?
Yeah, I used to ask her, like, did you listen to my podcast episode? And I interview a lot of comedians. She was like, no, I didn't have time. Well, I'm gonna wait till this is out for like 48 hours and ask her for some knowledge and see if she happened to catch on to this. But
hilarious.
how are you guys doing on the tour? Like, you guys are gone quite a lot. Like, you guys have 4 and 3 kids. How is that going? Like, do you take them on the road? I've seen you guys have like a clothing brand for them on your page, stuff like that. Like, how do you guys do this?
You just don't think too much. Like, I think that's the
hop on the
secret.
plane.
Everyone overthinks, and I really do think everyone overthinks. And if you just don't think it, you just go, and it makes things so much easier.
We also do have, like we said, we ended up choosing the right partners way back then, and we also have very supportive mothers who were a great example of how to become independent and provide for yourselves, and they support us in knowing that we're doing just that. And so they're very helpful. They live close to us and they help, and they know that this is
truestory.com.
It's awesome. It's a good, I almost use the word balance. It's awesome. It's good.
I won't say it's easy, and I'm not going to say that it
couldn't be, but
I'm going to say that it works. And we also have great carpools. We have a great community, and I think that a lot of women are also afraid to ask for help. And when you're disastrous like us, I'm sure we're annoying as fuck, but people help us a lot and don't have a lot of expectations for what we're going to do, or bring. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, don't count on them to organize anything in terms of school activities, but the moms will be like, this is due, go do this and make sure the form is there. Like, they take care, a lot of the organized moms take care of the non-organized moms, and that's really appreciative. That's really huge, like really amazing.
And then every time we are available, we make sure to like let people like either to show up when we can, or help out where we can. They know we're nice people. It's just we got a lot going on.
Yeah, don't put the bar too high for your like for yourself.
Yeah,
keep it low, and and just
do less.
You talk about like the moms or people in general having their own lives. I mean, they'll do their own things. They don't rely so much on everyone else. The moms, maybe you say sometimes the financial thing could blindside them. The husband wouldn't be able to do shit with their kids if the mom just decided to fucking walk away.
For many.
For a lot. Yeah. You'd be SOL. What's next for you guys? Like, do you guys have anything planned, anything big? Like, I know you guys are going on tour again. What's the next goal for you guys? You had a book, podcast, tour. What's going on with you guys?
We've got 2 books, Mom Secrets and Mom Truths. We are continuing to go on tour. We're going, like, I don't know when you guys will listen to this, but we are doing Canada in March. We're doing a bunch of places in May, including our city of Toronto. And then we have American tour coming up. We got lots of things that we're kind of working on and that aren't to be spoken about now, but that we're working on. And what we're always just, when the opportunities come to us, we're always open to them. And they usually lead to either that thing or something right around there that are lots of fun.
I'm just going to put something out there. I just had an idea. Because I took a slow release melatonin last night. It's new. Like oh my God, I think it just kicked in again. But it basically releases. I know. I got it at the small drugstore. I think that we should partner with like a CBD, someone in the drug world, and make a sleep regime for women.
I love it. What's included in that?
Like just maybe natural alternative ways to relax and calm down and fall asleep and like release your mind.
Like more than just consuming.
No.
Just consuming.
Yes. No, it's not like
just drugs.
Yes. No mental
So not
shit.
A regime, just a drug.
Regime, like maybe you take 2 or 3. And then maybe you take something in the morning.
This, I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm thinking
one to knock you out at night and one to pep you up in the morning.
Because I thought that slow release, it was so amazing. Like
what did you feel like?
Actually, I woke. This is so off topic, Greg. I'm so sorry.
2, 3, 4.
I wear nightgowns to bed because I get hot in the nighttime. But then I've been recently getting too cold in the nighttime, so I need like a t-shirt. But I don't have a lot of t-shirts. So last night I'm in a nightgown, and I remember waking up. I put a sweater on.
Yes.
Then I took it off and changed again and put on
so much fun.
The middle of the night.
What's this you put on?
Because it was like a button. I had to button it up like a pajama top. And I got back into bed, but I think I kept my eyes closed the entire time.
I love that.
And I like went right back to bed. So it was like the slow release was like, oh my God. Like it was like my body was in water, but like
it was strong.
Yeah. It was amazing. And I thought that would be such a beautiful feeling for so many moms just to be like, because you're sorry, that was a really random.
No,
I will put it out to the universe, a drug regime.
I'll take the drug where I don't know what I'm waking up in the morning for sure. That's hilarious.
Oh my God. I took a sleeping pill last night and I was just like, the sheets are never so soft, and because you would apparently there's side effects to sleeping pills. I don't know what they are, so I don't take one every day. But
so a natural drug regime would be great for you too.
But is CBD included?
Well, it's not bad for you. It's not habit forming. It's like just good and
CBD, right?
Yeah, something like that. Anyways, that's what I'm putting it out there.
That's a sweet idea.
Does it work? Obviously not, because you did a sleeping pill, so no. So, anyways, I'm gonna work on that.
The Cat Nap pill.
Oh my God! Yes, the Cat Nat nap. No, it's bed. It's not. You're going to bed, baby. Good night. See you later.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. That's awesome. You guys are a fucking blast to listen to. It's awesome to like have it live here, speaking to you right now, and hearing exactly what you hear when you hear you guys in the podcast. You guys are very genuine, outspoken people, and it's an absolute joy to listen to you guys. Just last thing before we go, do you have any tips or tricks or advice for someone that's going after their dream? Like right now, I love podcasting. I love doing comedy. It's obviously just getting out of your comfort zone.
You're a comedian? You're a funny guy.
I've only done one stand up and then gotten the accident, so I haven't been back on stage. But I'm going back to levity in Hamilton. But
I can't believe you did stand up. That is the scariest shit
you're
ever.
Canadian?
Yeah, I live north of Woodstock.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, we're keeping it in Canada.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
you and your wife have to come to a show. That'd be so fun to see your face on the show.
Definitely. Yeah. Like I work at a Cambridge and I'm in Toronto, Mississauga, Etobicoke all the time. So
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
and
So
Tri-Cities.
This is crazy.
The-
I thought you were American.
No,
the
no.
advice would be just what you know, Greg, because you do it yourself, is that if you have an idea, like you said, outside of your jobs and you and your wife wanted to do things, just fucking do it. Like Kat said, don't overthink it. Just try it. The one thing that you do doesn't need to be the thing you do half a year from now. It will evolve, but you got to just start.
I think, yeah, people avoid doing it because they're so afraid of what everyone's going to think about them going after it.
Or they
Like-
want it, yeah, or what people are going to think, or they want it to be successful right away and they're not, they want it to be perfect. It's like,
be reckless.
Yeah. No, I hear
In
that.
a way, be reckless in a way, not with people's feelings and not with your money, but like be reckless with your chances and your tries. Like just be reckless, because I think, people aren't reckless enough with their dreams, their passions, or hopes. Just be reckless.
Well said. Thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. Cat Nat, you can find them anywhere. Google them; they come up first thing. Instagram, go check out their tour.
Sorry, I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's crazy.
Yeah, just north, really small town, about 20 minutes north of Woodstock.
maybe that's why you liked him, because he's Canadian.
I don't know. I just was like, sure, he would do right time, right place, right everything.
It worked out well. Honestly, though, appreciate your time coming and speaking with a smaller podcaster and giving me the time of day. You guys are an absolute joy. You guys make me laugh so much. So I appreciate you guys. I wish you guys all the best, everything, success, kids, everything. So thank you guys so much.
You too, Greg.
It's a shit show right now, Greg. So like, wish us luck over here. We got this, though. We all got this.
Yeah, keep on going.
Well, we'll keep in touch, okay?
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Good
Say
luck,
hi to your
Greg.
wife. Bye.